what the Church of Scientology is so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Welcome back to more SPTV coverage of the Danny Masterson trial. We are on day 5. Friday morning, we got a late start. Court started late this morning, but we went right into the testimony of the husband of Jane Doe 3. Now, her husband's identity has already been publicly revealed in the first trial, so I'm not letting anything out of the bag that I shouldn't. Cedric Zavala, the lead singer of the band Mars Volta, took the stand this morning. I had only read his prior testimony. It is so much different seeing it in person. He is doing such a fantastic job testifying. He's very calm. He's very definitive in his answers. He's very genuine, sincere, and believable. It was a weird morning in court. It was a weird morning. At this point, the cross-examination feels like it's taken longer than the direct examination. Ariel Anson handled the direct examination this time instead of Reinhold Mueller. I thought she was very effective, very A to B. Is that a Scientology term? Do people say that outside of Scientology? Very direct, very to the point, very targeted questions that elicited very specific answers. There was no question as to what point was being made. I thought it was very effective. And it was very quick. This was supposed to be quick. This witness was not supposed to take longer than the morning session. And the cross-examination has been an absolute shit show. And I don't mean Cedric's performance up there. I don't mean how he's conducting himself as a witness. The questioning from Philip Cohen this time, not from Sean Hawley, has been an absolute shit show. And what do I mean by that? Cohen's up there being nasty, argumentative, loud. He's been admonished several times by the judge so far, not for his attitude. I presume he's allowed to have an attitude. I take it back. One of the admonishments was, can you just stop being so argumentative? And I don't believe she was just referring to his form of questioning. She was referring to his entire state of being, his entire presentation. If I was on the jury, I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed with the defense right now. Let me see. What else can I say about this? He's trying to catch Cedric. Again, this happened before with Jane Doe 3. In the most ridiculously small differences between things Cedric said the very first time he ever spoke to an LAPD detective like 6 or 7 months ago, and some things he's saying now on direct examination. I hesitate to even call them contradictions or differences. Did I say discrepancies? Whatever I said, because all that Cedric has provided today that Cohen is taking issue with is just some additional detail. I'm talking about the smallest things. I'm talking like on direct examination, Cedric said something like, the question was something like, have you ever had any interaction with Danny Masterson yourself personally? And the only thing was, we once went to a Scientology event at the Shrine Auditorium. They sat us behind Danny Masterson and his family. And the only interaction I had was Carol Masterson, Danny's mom, turning around and giving me an evil look. That was it. Oh my God. Cohen walked up there and acted like he'd completely invented an entire new narrative for his testimony. He was like, have you ever before today ever told Detective Vargas this story about Masterson's mom giving you the evil look? And he's like, no. He's like, did it ever occur to you to mention it? He's like, no, I'm mentioning it now. And guys, I could go on with 3 or 4 examples of this. I mean, it's a little strange. I spoke with some other professionals in the gallery, asking them what did they make of this? What do you make of it making such a big deal over tiny things like this? The general consensus seems to be, if you got nothing to work with, this is what you get. And again, I feel like if I were one of you guys out there watching my videos, I might start to wonder if the defense did anything right, would you actually tell us? Because I feel like I only ever tell you how the defense is not scoring any points. Guys, I promise you, if the defense was scoring points, I would tell you. I just don't see that they are. Okay, let me see. Cross-examination. Another note. Oh, this was interesting. This was interesting because this was a legitimate discrepancy, and yet Cedric did just a fantastic job handling it on cross. And when I say fantastic job, I just mean explaining himself in a way that seemed totally believable to any normal Joe on the street. And it had to do, because remember, we're like 3 steps removed here. What Cedric is testifying to is, you know, in one respect, he's testifying to what his wife told him about these incidents the first time she told him anything about them at all. And then he's testifying now to what Cedric, what he told a detective about what his wife had told him the first time she mentioned it back in, let's just say 2010. I might get the dates wrong, but let's just say 2010 is the first time Cedric's wife told him about these incidents. So you've got when the incident occurred, which is like 2001. Then you've got the first time his wife told him about these incidents, which was 2010. Then you've got the first time Cedric relayed details of the conversation to a detective, which was like 7 months ago. And you've got Philip Cohen up here acting like this guy's committed war crimes for there being any tiny additional detail that ever gets added on when Cedric is interviewed or asked them about it later on in time. And I'm again, guys, I'm just putting myself in the shoes of someone on the jury, and I'm like, I'm sorry, are we to pretend like human beings don't go like, oh, I just remembered this, or oh, I just remembered that? And that's the crux of this, guys. The things that Cedric is just remembering aren't things that contradict things he said previously. It's additional details. It's a totally normal human thing. And Cohen's up there acting like it's literally like he should be brought up, indicted in The Hague for ever having remembered an additional detail. Oh, but the thing that I said was a genuine discrepancy. When Cedric first spoke to a detective, was being asked, like it was an actual interview, and asked to give his version of what his wife had told him back in 2010, Cedric admits that in recollection, he thinks he put some words into his wife's mouth that were not accurate. He said, no, you know what? I think that was me adding that in. And you go, oh, that's a real discrepancy. And you go, no, it was him being honest about this little detail. And the detail was this: when his wife woke up the morning of after the December attack, and apologies that I'm not rehashing a description of everything that we're talking about here. This is just the trial update, guys. Did she say that when she woke up, she felt hungover and disoriented or not? And Cedric was like, you know, I think I'm the one who inferred that she woke up feeling hungover. I don't know that she actually said that to me. And I cannot stress how much time Cohen tried to take on this issue. When you go, who cares what she felt like when she woke up? We're here because of what Danny did to her, was doing to her as she woke up. Who gives a shit how she felt, whether it was hungover, not hungover? I swear to God, guys, as I sit here before you, I sat in court all morning and I could not tell you what Cohen's point was as far as why it mattered whether this word was said or not. And perhaps Cohen's just trying to get just leave doubt in the jurors' minds. Just leave any doubt whatsoever that details have not been 100% consistent from the get-go. And you guys, if that's the point he's scoring, I really don't think it's working. I just don't think it's working. And so what? We started court at 10:30. We got out of court at noon. That's 90 minutes. We had at least a 15-minute break in there. So there just wasn't a lot. You lit like all morning. Over half the morning was just set up with Cohen acting indignant that Cedric would ever have testified to a detail that was incremental to anything he first said 7 months ago. And that's about as boring as it was, guys. It was boring. And anyway, I thought Cedric did a great job just standing up to the attitude of Cohen. And yeah, other than that, guys, I got to get to some lunch. Let me see if there's anything in the chat here. It looks like we're good. So guys, I mean, not terribly exciting, but I think when we return from lunch, Cedric will finish up his testimony. The testimony of Jane Doe 1 will begin very shortly after we get back from lunch. No sighting of Graham Brewer in court today. Lucky for him. We'll see if he comes back for if he's there after the lunch session. All right, guys. I have more for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end. And I'll talk to you soon. I should have had my outro ready. Here we go.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, oh, dancing for my love, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.